Hey everybody, welcome back to Droogy's Lounge and another episode of the March to 300. I'm your host, Drebin's Droogy, and again we will take some small steps towards narrowing down my personal music library to the top 300 CDs that I will keep in permanent rotation. And we've been having some fun, had a lot of comments. I want to ask you, go ahead and hit subscribe. You're already on the channel, you're already taking a look at the video. Hit subscribe for me, throw some comments in there. Again, I'm going through my personal record collection, CD collection, with the help of Moto Joy Finder and others, and going through seeing what's going to be staying around, what ones I have to get rid of. So far, we've only kept 15 CDs. This is episode number 6, so not a very good keep rate. And again, I'm looking for CDs that mean a personal, sentimental connection, something I listen to start to finish, or just a hard-to-find item. This is completely unscripted and no AI except for the little logo you saw at the beginning. And that is it. This is all just off the cuff and the way we like it here in Droogy's Lounge. So without further ado, let's get Moto Joy Finder to step on in and let's see what random CDs we have brought this week.
Good luck.
We'll see which ones are going to make the cut and which ones are not. And again, we'll just start from the front and work our way back. And the first selection we have is the Violent Femmes, and this is a compilation CD of the Violent Femmes. A group I really didn't know much about. I know a lot of their heyday was in the 80s, and for me, I heard that, of course, the Big Sun Blister in the Sun was the one played when I was in college, so I picked up this compilation to see what other Violent Femmes could I get into, and the answer was not very much. So I remember having this. And checking out. It's not a group I got into. Again, this is probably one I would get some comments from you out there to see what did I miss on the whole Violent Femmes thing. Let me know. But as it is, I'm going to have to say the Violent Femmes in this compilation album is going to have to go in the bye-bye bin. So we'll set these right over here. And the next one on here, we have Queens of the Stone Age, the Rated R album. Part of my favorite top 10 albums of all times is Songs for the Deaf, which is the album that came out right after this one. And they had a Lost Art of Keeping a Secret was a song that came out, which prompted me to buy this back in the day. I really didn't listen to it that much, but as I've gone back, and Queens of the Stone Age is one of my favorite bands now, there were a lot of songs on here I actually end up liking as well. So I think I'm going to keep this one here, the Rated R by Queens of the Stone Age. In the Fade is probably my favorite cut on this album. I did see Queens of the Stone Age a couple years ago in St. Louis, and they just impromptu played it in the Fade because some guy in the audience yelled it out, and they said, "Oh, let's just play that," and it was a really cool moment. So definitely a keeper for me. So I'm going to stack that over into the smaller stack of keepers that we've had going, and go on to the next one. Okay, here we have a classic. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Referenced them, I think 2 weeks ago or so. We had the compilation that one of the songs from here is on the compilation I kept. But this is really the CD that really got me into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They changed their style quite a bit from this album to the current day. But John Frusciante, of course, is on this one. Kind of the breakout CD for me. A lot of songs on here I would listen to. Cool moment, listen to this on my honeymoon with Moto Joy Finder heading through the desert in Southern California. This one was playing. So just a cool album back in the 90s, a cool album here recently. So this is going to be another keeper. So 2 out of 3 to start. So we have a good start so far. Next one here is Steely Dan. And this is 2 Against Nature. Steely Dan, of course, big in the 70s, a little bit early 80s. Kind of broke up, got together, did some solo stuff. This is one of the albums from later in their time together. Again, a good yacht rock group, but this particular CD, I really didn't get much into the newer stuff as they got back together. So yeah, Steely Dan, a cool band I like from their earlier stuff, but can't really think of anything on this particular one that I would miss if I don't have it. So I'm going to have to put this one in the go away stack. All right, next one here. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy movie soundtrack from the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Actually, Guardians of the Galaxy, as far as movie goes, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, probably one of my favorite movies in the franchise, and some pretty cool songs. They did a good job of picking up some 70s and 80s. It's kind of the vibe with the lead character coming from planet Earth when he was a kid, so they pulled music from the 70s, 80s here. It was cool to listen to, and I do like some of these songs, but probably not enough for me to keep it in the final library. But definitely a cool album. Definitely a good job when they made this movie of mixing in the songs on this CD into the actual movie itself, which was pretty cool. But not a keeper for the final library. So we'll put that in the getaway stack. All right, next here we have UF Off from the Orb. This is probably the phase where there was some techno dance music. Not that I'm much of a dancer, but there was some cool techno music that I was listening to a little bit. But I think I picked this one up because they were one of the bands around the Daft Punk time or whatever. Can't remember a single thing about this. So this is somebody out there could tell me a little bit more about these guys, what I'm missing, but I can't really even comment on it much, so I'm going to put this in the getaway stack. Next here we have Lenny Kravitz, his Circus album. Lenny Kravitz had a long career. I actually got to see Lenny Kravitz playing in free at the Florida Band Shell when he had his second album out, which when that one rolls across, that one's going to stay in the final library. This particular Lenny Kravitz one, though, I don't particularly remember anything that caught my attention that made me listen to it more than once. So I'd have to say to this Lenny Kravitz, we'll have to put you away, but there'll be one or two maybe that will, in future episodes, will probably make the cut, but this one, I'm afraid, is not. So sorry about that, Lenny. Next we have the Morrison Hotel from the Doors. Of course, the Doors were in their heyday just a brief period of time in the late 60s, early 70s. As I was kind of getting more into that era of music, the Doors is a group I really took a liking to. And out of the Doors albums, start to finish, this is probably my favorite Doors album, start to finish. Peace Frog, Blue Sunday, Queen of the Highway. Of course, Roadhouse Blues is one that gets played a lot on the radio and stuff. So this particular cut for the Doors, I am going to keep in the permanent library. Very good mixture of music. I like it too because a lot of songs, except for Roadhouse Blues, really weren't overplayed. So you can kind of listen through this and hear some good stuff that you haven't heard a million times and got tired of hearing them. So Morrison Hotel is going to be on the keeper list for me. Next up, Genesis Live Over Europe. So this is from their 2007 tour. Of course, Peter Gabriel, Steve Hackett were long gone by this point. This is a 2-disc compilation of a concert over in different concerts over in Europe. Pretty good mixture of songs, mostly from the Phil Collins years of him leading the group. But some of the stuff I do like from the Phil Collins years are on here, and they mix in some other good stuff from Peter Gabriel. Firth the Fifth is on here. Without Steve Hackett, Daryl Sterner did a good job, but it's not quite the same without Steve playing it. But he did. Daryl did a good job doing that. Carpet Crawler is on here. Duke's Intro is one of my favorite albums of the Phil Collins period of time. They did the In the Cage melody with Duke's Travels at the end, so that was pretty cool. I'm going to lean towards keeping this one just because of the good variety of some of the Gabriel ear songs, some of my more favorite of the Collins-led era. I'm sure there's going to be a couple on here I would skip through, like I Can't Dance and Invisible Touch. Probably heard those two songs 800 million times more than I wanted to. But everything else in here I like, so I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the keeper pile. All right, next up we have, let's see, this one here is, good question. I cannot, let's see, I believe this is the Mars Volta. There we go. I was thinking that was who it was, but the writing and the font's very, very bad over him, Miss Mona, so don't get on me too bad. Mars Volta, seen these guys actually opening on a couple different concerts. I've seen them open for, I believe the Chili Peppers one time. I'm drawing a blank of who else I saw them open for. They're not too bad musicians to see live, but definitely one I would probably skip through a lot of it just on listen to it on a CD, not something I keep in the permanent collection. But a very interesting group to catch if you do catch them live. Deftones, they also are one of the bands open for the Deftones recently. So anyway, though, not going to be a keeper for me on the Mars Volta. All right, next up, the Black Label Society, the Mafia album. You know, on the heavier side of things, got this to check out the Zakk Wylde and see what he's doing when he's stepping away from doing other things with Ozzy and such. But never really got too much into these CDs as a whole. There's a few good songs I like off the Black Label Society, but nothing I would say I would keep off of this. Again, this is one I'd probably like to hear some comments. What am I missing about the Black Label Society on this particular CD and these guys in general? They do have some good songs, but nothing I would want to keep permanently. But let me know if I've missed the boat on this, and I'll give this one maybe another listen through. All right, Todd Rundgren. This is a compilation album of him, big in the 70s. Played in the group Utopia, and he also played a little bit with the Cars when they got back and ran a tour with him. He actually also was near the home base here of Drugie's Lounge in Ocala, Florida recently. Outrageous price on those tickets, so I did not see Todd Rundgren when he ran through Ocala. And pretty much the reason is there's like 2 or 3 songs I would even listen to off the compilation CD I have here. So I would say, even though I do like I Saw the Light, and let's see, the other one of course is Hello It's Me. Probably the favorite one is Hello It's Me, but nothing I want to keep in the permanent, so Todd's going to have to go away in the getaway stack. All right, Metallica, Ride the Lightning, from their early days. Of course, the title track, if you ever catch any of the live versions of Ride the Lightning, that's one that gets you pumped up. The double bass drum going in that song is great. Don't know if I keep this, though, as a whole to put in a permanent collection, but definitely for me, when you do prefer to listen to the Metallica CDs, the earlier days, this period of time is definitely better for me, but nothing I want to keep at this point in a permanent collection. Here we have, let's see, Highly Suspect, and this is probably a CD from one of the last periods of time where I was buying CDs, which got me thinking about doing this show with you guys. And this was a song, a group that my son Zach, who was on a co-host a couple episodes ago, and we'll see him again in the future, turned me on to this, and we were able to see these guys in concert about 1.5 years ago in Orlando. This one I'm going to keep sentimental value because Zach getting me turned on to these guys and seeing them in live in concert, a great show. So I'm definitely going to keep this Highly Suspect in the permanent collection. Good CD, but also good on the sentimental value. And on our last one now, we have Slipknot. And Slipknot was one of those groups, again, to me, back in the day, you'd see a song on MTV, or watch the video on MTV, you'd hear a song on the radio, so you'd say, oh, that's a great song, let me buy the CD, these guys are great. For me, I listened to it, and the song I heard was pretty much the only song I liked. So didn't really get much into Slipknot. Of course, their big songs or hits are cool, but to keep an entire CD of theirs and probably skip through everything but one, I'm not going to keep this one either. So this one is going to have to go in the away stack. So today, let's see, we kept 5. So a little bit better percentage on the random selections, but we did get rid of a chunk as well. So we're going to have to call that a day, but it was a lot of fun doing this with you guys again. Now again, you're right there. Just go ahead and hit subscribe on the button there. Please hit comment below. We will come back here very soon with another episode of the March to 300. See you next time.